I'm delighted to be introducing Dr. Yassar Abu Jamei, a psychiatrist and director of the Gaza Community Mental Health Programme, major non-governmental provider of mental health services in the Strip, whose staff contributed so much to Harry's film. I first met Yassar, I think, in 2015 at one of the very first Mental Health Network meetings. I hope you won't mind me saying that he seemed at the time quite withdrawn, and I took this to be simply an indication of his personality. It's only later on subsequent visits that I was able to get to know him better and to see the man that I'd first met, think of him as having been carrying within the impact of living through the previous massacre of 2014. Yassar has long pressed for appreciation of the central significance of human rights to mental health and psychological well-being, hosting regular conferences on this issue in Gaza. An 8th international conference will take place in a few weeks' time. He's an active member of the Palestine Global Mental Health Network, and a short while ago he was presented with the Community Resilience Award from Rebuilding Alliance, body based in California. So welcome, and over to you, Yassar. You're muted, yeah.
Thank you very much, Martin. And let me begin by thanking the organizers. The connection is unfortunately very unstable, so if I get disconnected, Martin, you may go ahead and continue reading the letter. Well, I wrote this letter about 2 days ago, and let me say that I was writing it and I'll start just reading. Looking at my terrified 6-year-old son, who keeps putting his hands over his ears, trying to block the sounds of Israeli bombardment. My 2 daughters, aged 13 and 10, and wife. The faces show the anxiety of not knowing where they can be safe now. My 2 older sons, 16 and 15, sit stunned and silent, and I know they are reliving the memories of the previous 3 offensives in Gaza Strip and the family members that we have lost. These are the feelings that every family in the Gaza Strip are living through. We Palestinians have lived decades of humiliation, injustices, and maltreatment. In 1948, we were expelled from our land. Over 600 villages were fully destroyed. Hundreds of thousands of us were killed or uprooted. Nearly 800,000 ended up living as refugees in different places around the globe. This happened under the eyes of the international community, who have promised us a sovereign state over about 1/5 of our original homeland. The decision was only accepted in the 1990s by Palestinians, believing in a 2-state solution. 26 years later, we look at the conditions in the promised state, Palestine. We see a West Bank divided and occupied by hundreds of thousands of settlers living in settlements built on the rubble of Palestinian homes, and who are making the lives of the Palestinian people a living hell. We see the Gaza Strip under blockade for more than 14 years, leaving us deprived basic living conditions. Not only that, but having suffered 3 large offensives in this small area, which killed, destroyed, and traumatized thousands of our people. And we see also East Jerusalem, with its holiest sites for Muslims and Christians alike, continuing to be under constant threat as settlers take over Palestinian homes and neighborhoods. A week ago, Israeli settlers started to attack Sheikh Jarrah, trying to seize more homes of Palestinian families. Everyone saw it. No one intervened. In one of the holiest Ramadan evenings, Israel decided to evict tens of thousands of worshippers who were just praying at Al-Aqsa Mosque. These were mostly Palestinians who live in Palestine 48, now Israel. Everyone saw the brutal use of military power by Israel. No one intervened. The violent scenes in Sheikh Jarrah and Al-Aqsa Mosque compound have lit a fire in the Palestinian hearts, not only in historic Palestine, but also everywhere in the world. While we demonstrated in Akka, Jaffa, Nazareth, and the West Bank, rockets were fired from Gaza, demanding an end to the atrocities in Jerusalem. The Israeli army response was to attack Gaza with even more violence than in the terrible days of previous offensives, this time causing the deaths of more than 80 people, including 17 children and 7 women. Of course, now the figures are more than that. This was 2 days ago. Today we speak about 139 people who got killed, including 39 children and 22 women. Bombardments hit tower blocks, apartments, governmental and police buildings, and even whole streets. Everyone is seeing it. No one intervenes. How long will the world just sit idly by while? How long will the world sit idly by while we hear the Gaza suffer like this? The people of Gaza need more than just statements and resolutions, while Israel receives the arms which are killing and terrorizing us. I am a father first and a psychiatrist second. My dream for my children to live, to go, to learn in safety. This is the same dream as that everyone of the client will be more. What I tell my children and my wife, because this injustice for Palestinians has gone for 7 decades. That doesn't make it normal. The world is increasingly full of people who do not accept it's normal. There will be a change. Political action is needed now to end not only the current deathly bombing raids, but also this illegal occupation and siege of Gaza by Israel immediately. Our current living conditions under the siege are an affront to human dignity. I tell my children and my clients, we Palestinians have the right. We have the right to live as any other people in the world, to live in peace, to live in dignity, and to enjoy our rights. And it will come. The international community must now fulfill its promise for a sovereign Palestinian state. Respect for international law demands every civilized country to recognize the state of Palestine. Now, after more than 7 decades of occupation and misery, we remain resilient and will never give up. But there is no father who can bear to see his children live like this. Thank you very much.